Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Conversation with Villa Springfield. Today, I'm really excited. We have Stephanie Brianic. Did I say that properly?
Close enough. Brianic.
Okay. Okay, great. With Life Connection of Ohio, right?
Yes.
And we are excited to talk with you because I know National Donor Day is coming up, and I'm just going to turn it over to you, and you let us know what exactly you guys do and how we go about getting involved.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having us today. We appreciate it. So National Donor Day is always on Valentine's Day. So a little sweet day. It's always February 14th. And we always want to say, share the love and donate to register to be an organ donor. That day's significance is just it's one day out of the year that we can really focus on educating others about organ, eye, and tissue donation, as well as recognizing those who received the gift, who gave the gift of life, as well as the ones who are still waiting for a transplant, and those who have passed because they didn't get the organ in time. Yeah. So it's just a really good day to spread that awareness about how to register, learning more about donation, and how important it is. So Life Connection of Ohio, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's very important. And I don't think people understand what it really means to that other person. You know, Absolutely. In the moment, there's just so much grief you don't think. So this is why it's important to think ahead and plan ahead.
Absolutely. And discuss with your family, have conversations. We understand it's not easy to have that conversation. You never want to talk about death with your loved ones.
Right.
But it is something that's crucial that they do know your wishes, have that talk, have that conversation. So if ever anything were to happen, they just know your stance on that.
Right. There's no question.
There's no question.
And how do you go about being an organ donor? I know you can go through your driver's license, right?
Yes. Or you could go to our website. So you could go to lifeconnectionofohio.org. You can learn all about donation there and register. Or when you go to your local BMV, when you get a permit or when you get your license, you can register there as well to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor.
Okay, great. So it's either one or the other. You don't need to do both.
You do not need to do both, one or the other.
Okay. Yep. So if you don't have a driver's license, do like the government issued IDs, do they have it on there, or would it be better to go to the website?
Yes, on the ID, they will have it on there. They will
that's great.
Or you can specify. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, great. So I know it's organ, tissue, eyes, and that's just about anything that you can donate, right?
Yes.
And explain how the process works. I know you can have anonymous donations, right? Or you can put out there that maybe sometime you'd like to meet the person who you donated to if they want to do it. Just explain that little situation a little bit.
Yeah, so organ donation is all anonymous. So we deal with deceased donation at Life Connection of Ohio, and one person can save the lives of up to 8 people, and they can enhance the lives of up to 125 people through tissue donation. So a lot of people can be saved or their lives enhanced through organ, eye, and tissue donation. And like I said, it's all anonymous. And when someone reaches out, sometimes you hear media stories about, I met the loved one who received my son's heart or my son's kidney or daughter. Those are usually, they have reached out to the organ procurement organization that they wrote a letter to the family and they want to meet. And then the family, the donor family, they have to be willing, they are okay with meeting as well. And so the OPO, which is an organ procurement organization, they can facilitate both families meeting together, but they both have to be in agreement to meet before that can happen, before that exchange can happen, because it is all anonymous prior to that.
But, right. And I would think the decision making, even if you decided ahead of time, boy, that's a hard time to decide whether or not you want to stay anonymous or not. I would think being anonymous from the get-go is the best way to go.
Yes. And it's anonymous from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you think about it later.
Then you think about it and you're like, I received this gift. The
Mm-hmm.
recipient can reach out to the donor family and they can send a letter to them. And then the donor family, if they want to, sometimes they're not ready.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Sometimes they can send a letter back, or they can say they're willing to maybe talk on the phone. But a lot of times they're not ready right away. And sometimes they
Right.
are. But then when you hear the media come in through it, it's because they want to meet and they're ready to see each other in person. And it's a beautiful
Right.
thing to see in person. I've seen a few. It's remarkable when they just instantly have that connection with each other. But again, it is all anonymous until both parties would like to meet each other.
That's great. So I got a scenario for you. Say I am an organ donor on my license, and my family, we've all talked and we all are in agreement. But what if you have a situation where something would happen to me and it says it on my driver's license, but there's a family member that says, no, I don't want them to do it. Which one goes first?
Right. So if you're 18 or older, mentally capable of making that decision on your own, it is an advance directive. In
Okay,
hospitals, they
great.
are going to honor the advance directive. But we're going
Okay.
to talk with that family initially. We want to know why. What was the reasoning of not
Hmm.
wanting this to happen? We want to get on their level about, let us know. Is there anything that we can answer for you? Any questions or concerns? We want them to feel comfortable with that decision that their
Sure.
loved one made. So it's not like we come in and it's boom, no, it's happening. We're going to talk with you. We're going to have that discussion with you. You know, your concern is valid. You know, we sometimes this happens and we're going
Right.
to talk with you. But most of the time, you know, again, you have to remember it is an advance directive and their loved
Okay.
one has made that decision. And we try to help talk with the family. We have family service coordinators that come in and talk with the family, and we're with them through the whole process.
Oh, that's
And
great.
anytime they have questions, we're there day or night. So we try to make sure that they feel comfortable with this decision and answer any of their questions, go over myths and misconceptions
Well,
about
I'm sure a lot
donation.
of it's fear.
And it's a lot of fear, and we try
Hmm.
to take that away and let
That's
them know
good.
that we want to honor your loved one's wishes. You know, this is something
Right.
that your family, your loved one wanted to do. We want to honor that for them. So that's how we approach it when someone isn't fully on board with their loved one's decision.
Okay. And then the other question I know that I've talked about with friends and family, if you are an organ donor, what if there wasn't a need for something you had, which I don't think probably happens very often. I would think anything that you could donate, you find someone that needs it.
Yeah, so when we're doing allocation of trying to find where the organs are going to go,
Hmm.
you know, we do reach out to UNOS, which is the United Network of Organ Sharing. So anybody who is waiting on a particular organ, they're going to be waiting on that list, that UNOS
Okay.
waiting list. We have nothing to do with that, Life Connection of Ohio. That's more with your transplant centers and your physicians to put you on the list.
Sure.
But if we have an organ that is healthy and we are able to transplant that organ, we will find a recipient that can receive that.
Okay, that's good to know. And then what if somebody would like to give a monetary donation to your organization? I'm assuming you accept those or not?
We do accept them. It's not we don't go out doing anything with
Soliciting,
donation. We
sure.
don't solicit. But if someone would ever want to make a monetary donation, they can. You would just need to, you can send a check to Life
Hmm.
Connection of Ohio to our Toledo office. And I can give that address right now.
Okay.
It's 3661 Briarfield Boulevard. It's Suite 105 in Maumee, Ohio. And that's 43537. And it is on our website as
Yeah, and
well.
I will have it at the end of our video also where they can do that because I could
Yes.
see maybe down the road after it's all said and done, you might want to donate just in somebody's name or something,
Yes.
or
And if
maybe
that's something you want to do and
the
someone's,
family would want to.
yes. If you wanted to do that through, to donate in someone's name and memory, just put the person's name in the memo section of your check, and then they can send the check to our Toledo office at Life Connection of Ohio. Again, that address is on our website at lifeconnection.org.
Okay. Now, I have another question that's kind of touchy. Who pays for all of it? Does insurance pay for it? How does that work? Because I could see that might be a stumbling block for some people.
Yes. And again, there's no cost to the donor family. There is no cost to them. They have to pay nothing. That is another misconception. Like, how much is this going to cost onto my loved one or to my family? There is no cost whatsoever. And so don't have any fear about having an extra expense because your loved one was an organ donor. Absolutely not.
That's wonderful. Okay. I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure. And I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Because, everything comes up when there's a crisis or a catastrophic injury or illness or something. And you just want to make sure you cover all your bases.
Absolutely.
That way.
Yes.
And so you are, what is your title? You're a community.
So I'm the community outreach coordinator.
Okay.
For the Dayton office.
All right. So if we weren't in a pandemic, I have seen different things that you do. You get involved in different organizations. So when we get through this pandemic, people can probably find you at different health fairs and different places, right?
Absolutely. We're in hospitals. We're at the Dayton Dragons.
Yes.
We're at UD basketball games. We do any outreach outside that we can, as much as we can. Anytime someone wants to be a volunteer with us, please reach out. We are always accepting volunteers. We are trying to do Zoom meetings with volunteers to try to get them and finding creative ways to get them involved right now during the pandemic. But once it's clear, we are ready to get back out there.
Hit the ground running. Right.
Yes.
So if you have an organization or if you personally would like to volunteer or have an idea for something, they should still reach out.
Yes.
In order to get on the books, because I think things will explode as soon as we get through the other side of this.
I think so. And you can actually, sign up to be a volunteer or put in your information, or at least reach out to us about your interest through our website as well.
Well, that's great. Well, I really appreciate you being on talking with us. I think this is a topic that doesn't come up a lot, but it's a very important one for the community to know and for everybody to be involved with and not to be afraid of. I think education is your best tool.
Absolutely.
To make an informed decision on anything. So I really appreciate it. I look forward to Donor Day. Here at Villa Springfield, we're going to do a couple of things to get the word out. So I'll be getting back with you with that. And is there anything else you want to make sure everybody knows?
Just if you ever have any questions or concerns, you can always reach out to Life Connection of Ohio. And again, you can always go to our website at lifeconnectionofohio.org for all the information about how to register or just hear inspiring stories as well. So we really appreciate it.
Great. Well, thanks, Stephanie. And hopefully we can get together and partner on something as soon as this pandemic's over.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for watching another episode of A Conversation with Villa Springfield. Have a good evening. Thanks.